What's up, guys? I just wanted to hit you with a quick video. I've been getting a lot of questions lately about what's going on in the market, and I just wanted to kind of clarify some things, right? So in the last 18 to 24 months, we saw significantly lower interest rates than we had historically seen. So a lot of people are like, the rates are so high, the rates are so high. The truth is before the last 24 months or so, we never saw rates this low, right? Like these were unheard of rates. So now that rates are starting to bounce up, they went up, 5-7%. Some cases I've seen them, they're floating around 5.7, I think, as of late last week. And, even a little better on, certain types of loans and, very, very well qualified people. So it's not that they're super high, right? It's not that they're crazy. They're just historically higher than they've been in the last 24 months, but still statistically and historically lower than they've been in the last 10 years, right? Last decade. So what does all this mean? It still means that, a $400,000 house at a 5% rate is still cheaper than a $350,000 house at a 10% rate, right? Like, I'm not a lender. I'm just trying to give you some general information on a viewpoint from my perspective of what's kind of going out in the world today. A lot of other things going on, we are starting to see some price reductions, right? People are like, oh, it's going to be a market crash. Prices are going down. There's not a market crash coming when it comes to the housing market. The inventory is still super low. We have not even begun to get a stable amount of inventory. Inventory is increasing, but it's closer to maybe 2 months, 2.5, where it was 0.9 months in Tampa at some point, and this is nationally speaking, but we're not at a 6-month point. It's not even close. What we're seeing is a price reduction for the homes that were overpriced. There were a lot of sellers out there that could throw their house on the market, that could price it at whatever they wanted it to be, and the house would sell. That was just kind of the market that we were in. There was so much competition, a lot of cash buyers, a lot of people moving to Florida, a lot of the COVID restrictions have been lifted nationally, right? So there's no more restrictions on flying, within the U.S., no more mask requirements. There's a lot of things that were bringing people down to Florida that have halted. So that's one of the things. We're still seeing a lot of people move to Florida, but the influx has decreased from what it was during the peak time of, the movement. Also, what we're seeing people begin to be a little more picky. We're seeing houses that are sitting on the market a little bit longer, where they're like, okay, I'm either going to hold on to my money and wait until, if I got to pay this higher interest rate, I am going to, hold on and wait until I find something that I really, really want, or something that's perfect. There's never a perfect house, guys. It's all about the compromise. It's all about finding something that you can work with within your budget and do the things that you want or need to do later, of course, unless you have no budget and unlimited money to buy the perfect house that you want. So what does this mean? This means that, one, for sellers, you're getting a lot more qualified buyers. The buyers that were on the cusp of not being qualified because they're DTI or because they couldn't afford the house they wanted and things like that, a lot of those buyers are falling out of the market. So a lot of the buyers didn't want to adjust their budget for what the interest rate changed it to, right? So somebody's interest rate went from, I had an example where somebody went from like a 3.6 up to almost a 6%. Their, monthly budget went up hundreds of dollars a month for that payment. So it knocked them out of their pre-qualification or their pre-approval for the amount that it was, pre-qualified for. It went from 400,000+ to 300 something thousand. And they were like, well, we can't afford a house that we want now, so we're not even going to buy. Right. So what's happening is the buyers that are qualified, that have the money, that have the reserves, that can qualify for a higher amount, those are the ones that are out there now. So sellers, you're getting much more qualified buyers. Buyers, what does this mean for you? If you're willing to lower your budget to what it fits within the criteria, if you weren't that well qualified, or if you are extremely well qualified, you have a lot less competition. People aren't just running out there paying anything for a house anymore. We're starting to see it level out a little bit. So what does this mean? Does this mean the market's crashing or going down? No, it just means that it's stabilizing. All that means is that prices will not increase at a rate that they have been increasing for the last 24 months. Are houses going to still appreciate in the next 12 months? More than likely, yes, we're still expecting an appreciation throughout 2022, an appreciation in value. That doesn't mean that houses aren't going to sit on the market longer. People are going to feel like they have a choice because there's going to be more houses coming to the market for people that feel they miss the market or want to catch it at the end. There's a lot going on in this, real estate market right now, but there's just so many options also for people that didn't have a chance before. So if you were a buyer and you were well qualified and you were just sick of competing, you were sick of losing out on offers, you were just sick of the madness, now's your time. You have a chance to actually get into the market and compete without having to go 20, 30, 40, $50,000 over list price, giving your firstborn and naming your dog after the owner, right? Like there's so many things that you can do right now that can get you into a home that you want or a home that will work, right? So here's your opportunity to get into a house, to get into something that can build equity, something that you can get a deal on now or level out in the market pricing, not have to go too crazy over, and still, finally have a home. And I know that's just a dream for a lot of people still. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. It's still, if you have the correct strategy, it's still a great time to buy and it's a great time to sell, right? It just has to be marketed, presented well, and there has to be somebody that, on your team that really knows what they're talking about in this market. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My info will be above the video or below, depending on what platform you're seeing this on. And, I'm just here to help. So I wish everybody a great week. I hope everybody has a great month. Enjoy the third quarter, get after it. And I'm always here if you need me. So I'll see you guys. I'm out.